Hello, this is Raj. My last name is Gadapa. I'm an author of a novel by name The Bipolar. I wrote it about on 2016, February 12th of 2016. I'm going to show you a little picture of how the book looks like. It's in Amazon, and you can clearly see here. You can find it in Amazon. You just try to search with my last name, or you can also search by just the word the bipolar. Anyway, let me just. This video is just to talk. It's like a book promotion, I would say. I just thought it's better if it comes from the author himself. So, what is this book about? This book is, in my opinion, is about everything. Uh, what inspired me to write this book? I would say what inspired me to write at all is I was diagnosed bipolar, and I was dealing with a lot of different kind of problems that most people can relate to. So about 20 years ago, actually longer than that, around 1993, I would say, I first thought, you know, that of course, I also felt that I had a potential, I had a potential to convince people, talk in a way that will interest people. In general, way back when I was a kid, I was kind of popular among kids. And so, anyway, I just thought there was a potential in me, and at the same time, I had this bipolar disorder, and I was going through a lot of different kind of problems. And I thought at some point, I also had a lot of passion to express certain views of mine because I like to look at things in all directions. And so that's what initially inspired me to write a book. And I initially wanted to write like a self help book. Then I eventually, at some point around 2007, so that's almost like 15 years later, I pretty much decided that I had to write a book with a storyline. And I started writing a book. And that book, actually, I never finished it, but I took some parts of that book. And that book is supposed to be called The Man with a Broken Mind. So, where I'm trying to say that, I'm diagnosed with bipolar, but am I really a bipolar? Nobody knows. So I was just like he has a broken mind, like just a broken car. It's a car breaks down. So here, it comes out as different ways. But there are certain incidents that happened uh, in about 2013, late 2013. No, I think I would say summer of 2013, because of which I just had to put my original book, The Man with a Broken Mind, to rest, and immediately start writing this book. And this book is a fiction. It's inspired by real events, but it's basically fiction. I never wanted to make it an action. It's supposed to be a psychological thriller, but now it's a action thriller. And now it's also a superhero thriller. That means the main character at some point becomes like a superhero. That means his situation, he's in so much of trouble with this bipolar disorder. Like being a good father, he's pushed to a corner, trying to be a good father against all odds. And here he gets into some kind of trouble that I'm going to explain in a few minutes. I'll just explain whatever is written in this synopsis so that I don't give away too much. So what happens is, the book starts off that he's being chased by some people, some gunmen. Okay, and then we don't know who they are, and then you go back, into the So it's a non-linear narration. So the here it is. So there are so the book. So it's about a love story, actually. It's an unconventional love story in the sense they both have a lot of age difference. The priorities are different. His primary, even though he's attracted to her, his primary objective is to help her out because that something makes him want to help her. She doesn't want to take his help. He tries to convince her to help. There's a lot of thing. But just going by the synopsis so that I don't give away the whole story, the bottom line is, long time back, he falls in love with a woman who has blue eyes. And this guy is from India. He's a non-white. And he falls in love with a girl who has blue eyes. If that does not work out because of his obsessive behavior, and he calls too many times and all that, so it fails. So for the rest of his life, he keeps going after women with blue eyes, and most of the time he fails. He has little affairs here and there, and then when he finds the main character of the book, her name is Nilok, and that's when there's a good chemistry goes on between them. But she gets suspicious the way he tries to be nice to her a little too much. So she at some point thinks he's trying to, she just thinks he's a serial killer. You got to read the book how she ends up to that conclusion. But at the same time, so she went and goes and tells the car, and whatever happens, the bottom line is, because he goes after only blue-eyed women, somehow the information goes to the white supremacist group, and then they try to help her out, and they attack him, and then the story goes there, and then he automatically becomes a superhero, and he fights or whatever. And there is the beauty about this book. But I already got good feedback from people. Some people thought that this book will make United States stand up to their problems. I don't know exactly what it means. I would say it more or less it will make the mainstream stand up to the problems and not trying to come up with this all optimistic point of views. And the other thing is there are certain statements I make in the book which are gonna grab some attention, which is gonna get some attention. One is that I say that this book I wrote long way before all these recent incidents about alt-right and before even Trump got elected. But the word white supremacist group is in my synopsis. Okay, so the thing is, I say that in this book, the people like Chinese and Indians and Mexicans, they are also looking at whites as superior. It's not just whites thinking their own superior. So I say that this problem is a lot more deeper than what most people are thinking, that once whites stop feeling that way, or whites, actually, to be honest with you, lately there are hardly any racists left out there. I just wanted to make a controversial kind of I'm going to raise a question that it's the other races that also can keep this racism alive. So so the lack this way that I'm trying to ease the mistrust between the blacks and the whites. And then I also get into some philosophical approach that, life is like a mystery. We don't know what happens after we die. There are a lot of other things. Life need not happen at all. It happened anyway, and now we're here judging people. So there are a lot of other things that kind of touch base and walk away. But at the end of the day, the book is going to be a very interesting action thriller. So there is actually women going to like the love story part of it. Men may like certain of the action parts, and I think I was quite happy the way what people heard back is the way I go back and forth, keep it interesting. So it literally, it's an action thriller, it's a psychological thriller, it's a love story, it's a superhero. There are a lot of other things. There's controversy, and I don't even know how I blended all this together. But go check it out, and that's all I got to share. Actually, I wanted to keep it a 5-minute video. Now it went all the way to 9 minutes. Anyway, that's about it. Talk to you guys later.